ones who have joined ourselves today. So this is one of the series of webinars hosted by educationagents.org. We're obviously in the international education sector to connect international representatives with different schools from around the globe. So today we're lucky enough to have Branislav from Schiller University. Schiller originated in the United States, but have very much established themselves throughout Europe, in Germany, in Spain, and also in France as well. So Branislav will be presenting today about Schiller University. The presentation will also be recorded as well for future review, so welcome to anyone who wasn't able to join us live. What I'll do now is pass over to Branislav, and then he can take control of the presentation.
Okay, so I have, just before we start, just one quick question. Okay, my colleague is also asking me to send her login information. She obviously didn't see your email, so I'll try to send it. I'm just asking, so if I want to do any presentation, I just the people will see my screen, so whatever I bring into this screen, it will be visible to them.
Yeah, correct. That's it. So I've made you host now, so there should be in the top corner of your screen, in the right hand side, the little dots, the white dots.
White dots, yes.
If you click there, then there should be an option to share screen. There's also a green button at the bottom as well of the screen as well.
Share. Okay. Tell me one thing. Can you please send invite to this Tara Augustine once again?
I will do. Yeah, no problem at all.
Please, just as she's waiting for that, because I'm now trying to handle this thing. So.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool, yeah. No problem.
So okay. So let's start then. So wait. We are now into this share. So. What do you see, guys, now at this moment? I don't know what you see.
We see your YouTube video.
So YouTube, okay. So you already said about Schiller, so let me give you a quick introduction. So yes, this is Schiller International University. We are the 55 years old university established in 1964. And our home campus is in Florida, United States, in a place Largo, which is basically Tampa Bay area. And we have also 3 campuses in 3 European cities, in Madrid, in Paris, and Heidelberg, so Spain, France, and Germany. And we are really a business school teaching mostly business classes and some international relations diplomacy, so that means some political science, also some technology information, on a master level. But I will go through all of that a little bit in more details. So I would like to start today with this short video about one of our campuses, so to make it a little bit more interesting, so that we don't just go to the PowerPoints and talk. So I hope you see this, and I will try to do the full screen. So you see this YouTube full screen thing now.
We do, correct? Yes.
Okay, so let's get this film rolling, and then I'll talk again. Stop. Okay, so that was a short movie, more about Heidelberg really, and everything that we have here surrounding than really about the school. But okay, it's also. Okay, I need to close this thing. Okay, so I hope you're now okay. So you see this Schiller logo. I just wanted to ask the organizer once again, did you send please that invite to Tara, to my colleague? Hello. Do you hear me? Hello. Do you hear me?
Hello.
Oh, okay, so you hear me only now. You didn't hear me before? Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Do you hear me? Is anyone on? Is everyone? Does anyone hear me? Hello? I see you guys. I see faces, but I don't know. Do you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. It's not been speaking.
Okay. Did you see the movie?
Oh, yes,
Okay. Okay, so I can start with the presentation. I mean, if you don't hear me, please send me a note or something so that I know. The whole idea is to tell you a little bit about Schiller. So as I said, it's a university, international university, with the main task to promote the internationalism and diversity, especially in the business area and political science area, basically international relations and diplomacy, established in 1964. The university was founded by Dr. Leibrecht, who was a German professor. That's why the name Schiller comes, although it's American university and it was established in America, but because it was established by the German professor, he chose that name Schiller, according to the famous, German philosopher, who was also the big supporter of the internationalism and the diversity, in the workplace and in the university and in general. So it was basically founded in 1964 and dedicated to the active development and encouragement of international understanding. The idea at that time, 50 years ago, was very, very new, very special. So a lot of people around the world got it. It was first it was idea to provide the university for the American soldiers, American people who were living here in Germany, but very soon it became international, and we had students coming from all over the world. So at this moment we have 88 different nationalities in these 4 campuses. They're all immersed into this really center of politics. Hello. Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Everything okay? You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So the reasons why the students should come and study at Schiller is, first of all, to basically be in these big centers of the political, diplomatic, economic, and cultural, capitals of the world, to enjoy Europe and the States, and of course for the scholastic reputation of Schiller as a high caliber academic institution, which is really famous, especially in areas around the campus. So we have quite a few companies in each of these campuses that are supporting us and getting our students. So we can say that we have a really good connection, and our students get their jobs if they want to stay, of course, in these countries. If they don't want to go back home, they got their jobs relatively easy in the field that they studied. I already mentioned this, that what we offer to the students is basically this wide range of outstanding and innovative programs, especially in this field. And the big thing is that this is a small private university, so we have a ratio of student and faculty 10-1, and we have usually classes with no more than 15 students, maybe sometimes 17, 18, so that every student has their the full attention, not only at the class, but also when they come to one of the campuses, our attention to accept them, to organize for them housing, to the insurance, organize for them, transport, anything they need. So it's a very person-to-person communication. We know all our students by name. They also know each other by name. It's not one of these universities where there is a lot of students and you really don't know who is with you, but you are very close to your friends. You know exactly who you study with, and that's also important once you finish and graduate. When you move ahead in your life, you already have your network around the world. You already have, friends that are present all around the world. So this is what I was talking. It's a personalized attention given to students, small class size. Students can always count on availability of the faculty, because we have, the faculty is always obliged to be at least half an hour before the class, and then after class again half an hour in their office. So the students has any question, anything like that, they can immediately ask. All other offices in a campus are always open. It's an open door policy, so they can easily come to register, they can request information, they can easily come to admissions, ask for something. So it's not anything that they need to make appointments and wait for days or anything like that. So it's a very, very personalized attention. The friendly atmosphere is also very important, especially for the new students, especially for the young bachelor students, people of 17, 18 years, when they come to foreign country, the new language, new circumstances, new everything. It's important that they have someone to take care of them, especially in the first few days, accept them, show them around. So we have, like for every new student, we have another student who is responsible to meet and greet that person and work with them in the first week. So we, for this 50 plus years, 55 years next year, we already have more than 20,000 alumni all around the world in different positions, on some very, very important positions in different countries, on a very important business position or the diplomatic position, depends on what program did they finish. So more than 20,000 of our alumni are all around the world, and they're alumni that came from these basically 4 campuses that I mentioned. So the campuses are in Paris, in Florida, in Madrid, Spain, and in Heidelberg, Germany. Okay, so I will tell you a little bit about this one, what is happening now. I don't know, there are some green lines over these pictures. I don't know what is this, but we also have, because we are American university, and we have students also from the whole world, and also quite a big number in Europe. We also managed to get for the students opportunity to get 2 degrees. So when they finish their school in Schiller, they will not only get a Schiller degree, they will also get a degree from the University of Roehampton in London. So they will have 1 American degree, 1 American accreditation, and they will have another degree from London, from Britain. So they will have another European degree, basically according to the Bologna Code. So for this second degree, they really don't need to do anything specific. But they will get a degree, and it is physically 2 different degrees, 2 different transcripts, because the British system is made on that Bologna course, so it's less classes and things. So the degree, the transcripts will be different, and the degree, of course, will be physically different. So 2 degrees, 1 program, 1 time pay, but 2 degrees obtained, and then the students can choose which one of these degrees they want to use, if they are continuing education or if they are applying for jobs. In some countries, the British degree has more value. In some countries, American degree has more value, so they can make their own choice. Another specific of this university, which is very important for students, but also very important for agents, is that we have 12 intakes in a year, which means that we start our program every month of the year. In other words, if the students for any reason miss their September start, the visa was not done on time, or maybe they missed the application deadline or anything like that, they can always start with Schiller because we have starts in October, in November, in December, in every month, January, February. So whenever they are ready, whenever the visa is ready, they are basically able to start. This is possible because we have a monthly system of education where the students are studying only one subject at a time for 1 month. So for 1 month, the students are concentrated on one subject. They finish that one at the end of the month, they get their grades, and they move to the next one. So every month they're progressing towards their degree. And for that reason, we can always take new students every month to start their programs. Of course, depends on the month they start, they basically get their semester. So, semester is 4 months, and in these 4 months, they will do 4 classes or 12 credits, but one at a time. And in these 4 months, they have to dedicate themselves in 4 months of studies in a row. And then after that, when they finish one semester, they have an option to continue another 4 months, another semester immediately. So to go in, and finish their program as quickly as possible. Or at that time, they can opt to take maybe some internship program, or maybe to move from one campus to another or anything like that. So if they want to do any kind of a change, they can do it only at the end of the semester. So basically every 4 months. At the end, if you have questions, I'll be more than happy to answer all the questions regarding, especially these specific that are not so common for other universities. So these are the programs that we are offering. We are a university that is concentrated on few programs. So we have a program in international business, international relations and diplomacy, international economics, and international hospitality and tourism management. These are the programs that are on a bachelor level, Hello? Somebody asking something or? Okay, so these are the bachelor degrees. So it's a 4th. Anyone has a question? Okay, I'll continue and then, yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now. Yes. I don't hear now. You're muted. You're muted. Okay, let me finish, and then I'll ask the organizer to unmute everyone so that we can talk, because I don't know. So these are the bachelor degrees, and then the master level, we have more or less a similar approach. So it's an MBA, Master of Business Administration, with few concentrations. One is in international business, one is in management of information technologies, one is in international hospitality and tourism management, and then we have another 2 masters, Master in International Relations and Diplomacy, and Master in International Management. So all the basic master programs are 12 months long, and all the MBAs with concentration in business, in information technology, they are 15 months long, so they have additional 3 classes in that specific concentration. So 12 or 15 months. And the bachelor degrees, they're all 40 months or 40 classes. And of course, depends on in what speed the student take. They can be done in 40 months or longer or even shorter. I will explain that also. The medium of study in all the campuses is in English. In other words, student doesn't need to have any knowledge of German or French or Spanish when they come to the study. So if they want to come, let's say, to Germany, they don't need to know German at that point. If they want to go to Madrid, they don't need the knowledge of Spanish. Everything they need is English, and that English must be confirmed on few ways. One way is, of course, if they finish the English teaching program, so if they finish the high school in English or the bachelor degree in English, or they have at least 1 year of university education in English, then they can waive this English proficiency. If they don't have that, or if they're coming from the country where English is the main language, but if they don't have that, then they need to prove either by the test they will take with IELTS, or the TOEFL, or the Cambridge. These 3 we accept. TOEFL, we accept 81 TOEFL score for the bachelor and 89 for the master. On IELTS, we are looking at 6.0 for the bachelor and 6.5 for the master. And on Cambridge, at this point, we are looking at B1 as a minimum entry requirement for both bachelor and master programs. So English is the only medium of instruction, and depends. If they go, let's say they go to Madrid, then they will have classes in a foreign language. They will have like 2 classes of Spanish, so they learn Spanish a little bit, or in Paris, they will have 2 classes of French, or in Germany they will have 2 classes of German, and of course they can do more classes in local language if they want, but 2 of these classes are part of the regular bachelor program. Otherwise, everything else is in English. I mentioned when I was saying that after each semester they can also choose to move. So the mobility is one of the factors that the university is promoting, and that means that we are encouraging our students, because they are studying international business, they are studying international relations, diplomacy, that they can also move. So they can spend 1 year in Florida, for example, and then they can move and spend 1 year in Paris or 1 year in Germany. So they can experience other cultures, they can learn other languages, but they can also stay for the whole program only in one place if they want. We normally encourage them not to change too often, because from our perspective, from the university perspective, it's not a problem. But from the visa perspective, accommodation, all of that, it can be a lot of logistics problem. So if they really want to do that, they have to plan in advance. They have to advise their registrar and everyone else, and need to plan for the visa and all of that. But in general, it is possible. And we also, as I say, we are encouraging that. We are even giving some scholarship for, in that case, if the student wants to move from one campus to another, to help them with the cost of move. So that would be briefly all about university. You know, all the specifics. Everything else is just a traditional university, small private American university. So I will now open this for questions. If anyone has any questions, I hope that our organizer is online so he can unmute you, because I don't think I can do that.
No, correct. Yeah, that's it. Well, thank you very much for the introduction there, Branislav. Some of the questions obviously have been around admissions requirements. I mean, rather than going through that in a presentation, I'd imagine there will be documentation that can be shared with everyone in terms of minimum academic requirements. They're obviously going to differ from country to country as well in terms of GPA and those sort of things as well. So yeah, so we'll make sure that's done from that side of things as well.
So what we did to avoid this issue, because you're right, we have students, as I said, from 88 different countries at this moment, and this is changing every month because of this monthly system. We try to make it very simple and very straightforward for the admission. So the admission for the bachelor program, the students need to have a high school diploma and English proficiency, and to do a nice, proper motivational letter. So there is no minimum GPA or minimum requirement on any way. Of course, the better grade, the better GPA will give them easier access to university, but anybody can apply as long as they have a high school diploma, they have English proficiency on these minimums that I said, and they prepare and write a nice motivational letter. Of course, they need to do the application, pay the application fee. Application fee for Europe is 50 euros, for America is only $20. So this is all that they need to do. As we are private university, and we are, as I said, giving this personal attention to every student, we are obliged to give an answer to every of your email or inquiries within 24 hours. And we are also issuing acceptance letter or non-acceptance letter within 1 working week, which means that your student and you will know immediately if the student is accepted or not, and you can either decide to go ahead or you can move to another university if you're not satisfied with this one. Also in America, you know, the Florida campus is trying to be very efficient and fast with the I-20. So they're always managing to issue this I-20 for the students who, of course, fill in all the data and all the conditions within also maximum of 1 week. For the master students, the entry requirement is a bachelor degree, and of course, again, English proficiency. For master level, there are some additional things. So let's say if you are talking about MBA, then they need to have in their bachelor program, they need to have some accounting classes. So if they finish, I don't know, something that doesn't have anything to do with business or didn't have any accounting, I think they might have additional class as a prerequisite, cover this accounting prerequisite. But in general, there is no any additional thing. There is no GMAT or you know, any of that test that is required. But I said, if the student has it, or SAT or ACT or GMAT, then it's good that they have it, and they will definitely help them in the admission process. But because of this very different countries and very different level of studies and very different grading systems and all of that, we made it really as simple as possible.
Brilliant. I've got a question myself, actually. So if a
Yes.
student gets an I-20 in the United States and then wants to then go and study a semester or an area in, say, Madrid, for example, how does that work from an immigration perspective? Do they get a student visitor visa for the European country, or do they need to reapply for a new visa for that campus? How does that work from that perspective?
No, that's what I said. If the students need a visa, they have to reapply for the visa for the country. So if they are studying in the States, they need to, let's say they want to go to Madrid now, they will have to go to the Spanish embassy or Spanish consulate, wherever, whatever is closer, and ask them. Of course, they will get all the letters from the university or support letters and things. So it will be easier than initially, but it is still a process. That's why I said it's not like, oh, I decide today I want to move now, so I move tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, it doesn't work that way, and we all know. So we are still under the government rules. That's something that we cannot change.
And in terms of the students being assessed by admissions, so they obviously take a look at their academic profile, but is there a personal statement that forms part of the application? What else is needed to be required to complete an application?
Personal statement. I said I called it motivational letter, but that's basically a personal statement, which is very important. I must say it's very important. We understand that in some cases students can ask for help with someone to write that letter, but nevertheless, this is important part because we grade that on two levels. First one of the knowledge of English, how it's written, and second, of course, in a sense of what is the real motivation of student to come to Schiller. What will student bring to Schiller? Is there anything that student has specific? Did they have any kind of volunteer work before that? Did they have any social work? Is that something that is bringing us a big thing in diversity, or maybe some sport or anything like that? But so this motivational letter, is very important. And this is something that we look very carefully into. We also try to do the interview with every possible student. We can do that together with the agent. We can do in an agent's office, or we can do directly, depends the way that agents want to set up that. But we definitely like to talk with the student on Skype if it's not possible in face-to-face, because they all doesn't live in these countries, then at least on a Skype to talk with them a little bit, to prepare them for the interview, for the interview in the embassy, to see with them again if they're aware of what it means coming to Schiller and start studying, and is that what they really want, and so on and so on.
Okay. And the dual award from Roehampton, so are they required to submit an additional dissertation on the subject that they've undertaken, or do they just get a dual award from Schiller and Roehampton via the submission of the documentation?
They don't require anything additional. What is happening, we are sending all the work the student did electronically to London, and their faculty is grading that. We have every quarter additional kind of inspection, let's say, or validation, basically, of everything that happened in the last quarter. Physical validation, where their teams come to the campuses and look into that one. And that's why I said when they get these transcripts, the students really get two different transcripts, because even the grade can be different. If they get, I don't know, here, let's say, minus at Schiller, they might get in Roehampton, I don't know, 65 or 50 or whatever, and get, so even the grade is different, but it is based on the same assignments, on the same, thing that the student did. Every student for every class has to do the midterm exam, the final exam, and one written paper in the middle between the midterm and final. So these three things will also be graded by the Roehampton faculty. And at the end, that transcripts will look, as I said, a little bit different, because the American one will have 40 subjects, so 40 grades, and the British one will have 27 subjects and the thesis. So basically, it's even physically different. So 27 out of 40 classes will be validated by Roehampton, not all 40, but just 27, because there is British degree is 90 credits, or 180 European credit, or 360 British credits, and American is 120 credits, or 240 or 480. So we have more credits. For sure.
Okay, and one of the questions on the forum is that once the student's been given an unconditional acceptance, how much deposit of the tuition fees is required before you can then start the visa process from that perspective?
Okay, so it's different from country to country, because it's mostly guided by the government regulation, not by us. So if we are talking about United States, basically the student, everything that they need to do before they go for the embassy is to show, you know how it works in America, they need to show financial statement where they have enough funds for 1 year of studies. In this case, I will give you later the tuition fees. Yeah, I forgot that, so that you know how much is that. So that is it for example, United States. In Europe, and then when they get visa, once they get a visa, they need to pay the first semester fees within the 2 weeks after they receive the visa before they come to America. If they don't pay within 2 weeks, then the university will cancel their visa. So they don't pay anything in advance, they pay only once they get a visa. In Europe, it's different. In Europe, the embassies basically ask for us to collect the first semester fees before the interview, so that when student is going for an interview, they have a confirmation that they already paid for the first semester, and that they have provided accommodation. We give them the address of the dorm or the accommodation that they have, depends what city they are, so that they have a better chance of getting a visa from France or Spain or Germany. So it's different.
Okay, excellent. That's great. Okay, well, I mean, I think that seems to be the majority of the questions that are asked on the forum. Lots of people in the group chat have asked for prospectuses and information to be sent over as a follow-up. They'd also like a copy of the PowerPoint and the link to the YouTube video as well. So I just want to thank you for your time today. As I said, this will be recorded, slightly edited, and then distributed to those who are unable to attend. So sorry, there's one more question. How many campuses and countries? So there's 4 in total, isn't there? 4 campuses.
Yes, it's a 4 plus online. Okay, I didn't mention online. So we have American campus, Spanish, German, and France, and of course we have an online division. So the students can take the full program online. If they take the full program online, they are not entitled for the Roehampton degree, so they will only get a Schiller degree. And they can also use the online as a support to their regular studies. In other words, we will allow them to take maybe 3, 4, 5 online classes, in a sense that, let's say they want to go back home for a month, but they don't want to stop education, then they can take that one class online. Or let's say the student feels really good about what he's doing, and we feel really good because they have really good grades. So we allow them that in 1 month they take 1 class on campus and 1 online. In that case, they can finish their program quicker, and so it helps them to finish quicker. But so this online can be used in 2 directions, as a substitute or as a full program.
So just to take that to a further context, with the master's degree student, say an MBA student, for example, could they effectively do all of their core modules on campus and then take their dissertation online to limit the total amount of time that they're actually studying on campus? I know a lot of students want to stay as long as possible, but undoubtedly there are a lot of professionals at that level that want to go back into the positions that they are to be able to complete everything from that perspective as well.
Yeah, no, of course. The point is, they need, if they let's say they want to finish everything on campus, let's say they will do the MBA, they have 12 months. As I said, if they are really good and they work hard, they might even squeeze it in 1 semester instead of 4 months. 4 classes in 4 months, they can do 5. Okay. So they can finish in 10 months, for example. They can graduate in 10 months, and then their thesis they can do from their home. In other words, they have to have few consultations with their mentors online and all that, but they can even defend their thesis on Skype with the faculty in London and faculty here. It depends which campus it is. So they can do the defense of a thesis online. Of course, they need to send the original documents, the whole thesis copies to their campus wherever they study, and also to London, to Roehampton, so that they have copies of these documents and do the consultations before that a few times online with their faculty, and make sure that everything is right before they go to defense appointment. But okay. They can do it online. They don't have to go for the thesis defense. They don't have to be in a campus.
Amazing, that's great. Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much for your time there this afternoon. Thanks a lot for the 25 consultant that's joined us today. I appreciate it was shorter notice. We normally arrange these over a 6-week period, but thank you very much for joining us over the invites that we sent over the course of the last week or so. Branislav will certainly share some more information about Schiller to the group moving forward, and then if anyone has any further questions, they can be directed to us at educationagents.org, or we'll share some contact information with Schiller directly as well.
Yeah, please just send my data and data of my colleague. I don't know if Tara is even present on this one because it was supposed to be my colleague director from Florida, Tara Augustine, was also supposed to be on this presentation. So you can send all your questions either to me or to her, and we will be more than happy to answer and work further on that one. So feel free to contact us with any questions that you might have.
Okay, I've just unmuted Tara as well, so she should be able to say hello to the group as well.
Okay.
Hi, yes, I was here, Branislav. I was answering some of the chat responses.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't know because I was battling with these two screens here, so I asked the organizer to send you a invite. So I hope everything worked well. Great. So as I said, if you have any questions for the Florida campus or online campus, Tara is the person to ask. If you have any questions on European campuses, please don't hesitate, come to me. And in any way, we will answer for both. And as I said, we will always answer within 24 hours, so you will not have to wait for us.
Brilliant. That's excellent. Well, thank you so much for everyone joining us today. Thanks a lot to Schiller. As I said, it's all recorded. The reason why everyone's on mute is to obviously make sure that the experience is a lot better when it's watched back rather than consistently getting feedback. So, as I said, we'll share that with all of the participants today and those who weren't able to join us live. And then we look forward to speaking to everyone again soon.